Now let's talk about drawing angles. When we're drawing angles, we want to draw them in standard position. Standard position means that the vertex is right at the origin and that the terminal side is right along the positive x-axis. So I'd like you as you're drawing these to think in radians. So we know that how much would 2 pi be? What part of the circle would that be? Well, 2 pi is a full circle in radians. Okay, so that's a full circle. Let's skip over. So if 2 pi is a full circle, how much would just 1 pi be? Well, 1 pi would be half of a circle. Okay, so if 1 pi is half of a circle, now how much of a circle would 3 pi over 2 be? Well, think of 3 over 2 as a think of 3 over 2 as a mixed number. All right, 2 goes into 3 one time, and we have 1.5 left over. So we have 1 full pi, and we have a half of a pi left over. So that means that we have to come 1 full pi and then a half of pi. So we come around our circle, a full pi, and then we come, a full pi this way, and then we come a half of a pi more. So, good. And now we have a fourth of a pi. We have a half of a pi. So a half of a pi, we know that a full pi is half of the circle. Well, half of that would be a fourth of the circle. Okay, great. Now, let's try that again. Instead of talking about halves, let's see if we can do it with fourths. So, how much would a fourth of a circle be? Okay. Well, a fourth of a circle would be, cutting the circle in half would be a full pi, half of that, and then half of that again. Okay, so we know a half of a circle is a full pi, and half of that is 2 pi over 2, half of that is pi over 4. So I can think of about how much of a circle, that's an eighth of a circle. Okay, so now looking at the next one, I have 5 over 4. Well, 5 over 4, 4 goes into 5 one full time with a fourth left over. So that means I'm going to have to go around the circle a full half of a time, and then I'm going to have like a little bit of a fourth coming down more. Okay, so here is 5 over 4 pi. Now, what about this negative? The negative in front of the 3 pi over 4 means that instead of going counterclockwise around the circle, I need to go the other way around the circle. I need to go regular clockwise. So I'm going to go negative. I'm going to start by going down this time. I'm going to start rotating down. And 3/4 of a pi. So I'm going to come fourths, just counting by fourths, like 1, 2, 3, 3 sections. Let's just draw that in. So I'm going to come 3 sections down. So here's 1 section, 2 sections, 3 sections, rotating negative, and that is the angle, negative 3 over 4 pi. And now we have 9 pi over 4, 9 pi over 4. Okay, well, I know that if it was 8 pi over 4, it would be 2 pi. So 8 would be a full circle all the way around. 9 means that we're going 1/4 more. Okay, so here's 9 pi over 4. Now, let's talk about coterminal angles. If you're going to try to find a coterminal angle, that means that the angle has the same initial side as the original one, and that it also ends in the same place. So it starts in the same place and ends in the same place, but the rotation that it goes in the middle could be different. So here you can see that 60 degrees starts here and rotates up, whereas 420 starts here, goes all the way around, and then rotates up to the same spot. Or it could be that one of them is a positive going in one direction and one of them is negative in the other direction, but they both start in the same spot and end in the same spot, so they are indeed coterminal. So now to find coterminal angles, you just have to add 360 or subtract 360. Or if we're doing it in radians, you would add 3 pi, 2 pi, or subtract 2 pi. So let's do that with these. 420, we're just going to do minus 360. Okay, so we're going to just subtract 360 from that to get our answer. Or if it was a negative value, we can just add 360 to it to get our answer. All right, so 420 degrees is coterminal with 60 degrees, and negative 120 degrees is coterminal with 240 degrees. If we're doing it in radians, we just add or subtract 2 pi. When we're adding and subtracting 2 pi, we might have to get a common denominator in order to do that. And after we have our common denominators, now we can just subtract our numerators to get the answer. And now we have found the coterminal angles. Great!